Are you ready to get your fix?
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
To get your fix? Are you ready?
Are you ready?
To get your fix? Are you ready?
Are you ready?
To get your fix? Are you ready?
Are you
To
ready?
get your fix? Are you ready?
Are you
To
ready?
get your fix? Are you ready? To get your fix?
With the Wicks here on this beautiful Friday, January 7th, 2021, and welcome to the show, whether that be on Facebook or on YouTube, I guess I already said whether that be on Facebook or YouTube, but if you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, it would be much appreciated. Please welcome guest host here on Fantasy Football Fridays, John or Y4, whatever you guys like to call him, doesn't matter, I guess, but yeah, it's going to be a good day, I think. We got a lot to talk about, a lot to dive in.
Oh yeah, that happened last week.
A lot happened.
Crazy.
Yeah, we missed it quite a bit because we were too busy in the old home of the Green Bay Packers, Lambeau Field. What an experience! What a time! Share your thoughts on that. What did you think? The overall experience.
It was cold,
It was.
very cold, but wow, it was very impressive. I really didn't even know what to say when I was there. It was like a total different experience. It was crazy.
That's literally what I experienced. Like it was incredible. Like everyone like that I've told, and they ask how my experience has been and stuff, or how it was. I'm just like it was probably like one of the best experiences I've ever had in my life up to this point. I mean, there's obviously like other things probably I could compare, but like just soaking it all in, knowing the history behind it, and how many thousands of players have stepped foot on that field, Hall of Famers. Just the head coach Vince Lombardi, Curly Lambeau, all these people. It was absolutely incredible.
Yeah, when I was in the stands, I was just picturing Vince over on that sideline wearing that coat.
His fedora
Gave me
or
the
whatever it
chills.
is.
Yes, it was awesome.
What's going on?
Yeah.
That was we got to go see the.
What's going on out there?
We got to go see the Hall of Fame Museum. I talked about that on I believe it was Tuesday. That was awesome. I haven't even seen the Vikings Hall of Fame, and when next time we go back, hopefully we get a little bit more. We can get there on a Saturday and get a full experience because we kind of rushed through it because they fucking told us, okay, doors open 1:20.
Yep.
If you're in there at 3:20, you're staying in there. Take in mind,
So
I have a
2 hours.
Yeah, 2 hours. Okay, I have a North Face jacket on. John has 2 fucking sweatshirts on. All right, we ain't built for the cold at that point in time, especially when it's fucking gonna be -9 or
We don't
negative
want to be
1.
carrying all that weight around, so we tried going light and
Yep.
backfired.
Yeah, backfired. Like, all right, you get in, get out, because 3:20 doors are shut. How you doing? Keep it moving. But still, just to be able to see all that and the history and all those pictures, like when we were looking at the jerseys of like why they picked or when did the Green Bay Packers pick or wear those jerseys that they debuted this year, those all green throwbacks. We got to see that and stuff like. It was incredible. I didn't even know they had like those bronze football busts there either, like to show that they're like in the Packer Hall of Fame to say or whatever.
Yeah, I never knew about that either. But really cool experience.
Very, very cool experience. Loved it. But there's definitely a lot to sort of dive into today. A lot of news happening. We kind of dived into the Antonio Brown situation, the Aaron Rodgers and stuff. We're going to kind of bring it up a little bit briefly just to get a little bit more in depth on it. Not too much has happened since then, just besides Antonio Brown going on podcasts and stuff. So, are you ready to get your fix?
All right.
So let's bring up the whole Antonio Brown situation. We were in Lambeau when this happened, or in Green Bay when this happened. Logan mentioned to us, hey, Antonio Brown just ripped off his jersey, threw it to the sideline, ran off the field, middle of the end zone, while his team was on the field in the middle of a huddle, said, peace out, how you doing, keep it moving. And we talked about the whole situation. He's like, oh, I'm too hurt, I couldn't go in, blah, blah, blah. And there was a whole situation where, like, oh, they were forcing me to play. Bruce Arians said, oh, I'm going to, you're giving the cutthroat kind of message to him. And apparently Bruce said, does, this mean cutthroat and stuff? Like, get out of here. And it's kind of been roller coaster of events leading up to today, basically, and we're still trying to figure out the story, what really happened, what made him do that, because nothing is just gonna out of spite make you do that in the NFL. I mean, it's unheard of. The only person I think that's ever done that, and not even in that fashion, nowhere near that fashion, was Vernon Davis when he retired at halftime. Went out, played a whole half, went into the halftime or whatever, went into the locker room, retired. It was over. It's the only time. Exactly, he didn't feel it no more. And I think there's definitely a lot more that happened, whether it was just miscommunication on both sides, which that's what it's seeming to look like at this point with all these messages between Bruce Arians and Antonio Brown and Alex Guerrero, Tom Brady's trainer, and stuff like that. But now we've all talked about that. Antonio Brown has kind of come out and has been on a couple podcasts and given his 2 cents, kind of acting like, I don't know how you want to put it, but just acting a little different, like he's in the right here. Tampa Bay should pretty much just go fuck themselves, per se. But he came out and said, at one point, instead of giving the peace signs, I thought about mooning the crowd. And what was your comment after that?
I was like, I think I said CTE.
He said CTE.
That sounds crazy.
You just, there definitely has to be something wrong inside his mind. I mean, he's played football for how long, and we already know the whole situation with, the whole Hernandez situation, and his family donating his brain to research on CTE and stuff like that, and how he had a brain of like a 60-year-old man or something at the age of 28, I believe, or something. Really young, just absolutely crazy that could happen. But it's football. It's a contact sport. It definitely can happen, will happen. It's just part of playing football. You sign your name, you sign the contract, you know what you're getting yourself into. It's football. It's going to happen. They have put in safety protocols to help that to an extent. But at the same time, I mean, Jerome Bettis, doesn't he have to take a bunch of pills just to get out of the bed in the morning and stuff because of all the pain he's endured? I'm not 100% sure on that, but that's kind of what I've heard around the grapevine. But I mean, it's just nuts that this whole Antonio Brown situation. So today yesterday we talked about he went on waivers. Tampa Bay ended up releasing Antonio Brown, so he had till about 3 p.m. Central Standard Time to clear waivers, which means basically anybody on the waiver wire, which means the last place team, which would be, I think it's the Jacksonville Jaguars. If they wanted to pick him up, they get first dibs basically, and it goes down the line to all the way to the best record in the NFL. But he ended up clearing waivers today, which means Antonio Brown is officially a free agent. Now, is this a shocker to you?
No, not really.
Yeah, I didn't think so. It's not really a shocker to me at all. Because he did go on the record saying, I need surgery. Okay, there's a bone fragment floating around. There's torn cartilage. You can see it. There's just it's a mess. But then you go look at what he did on the field, basically that first half or leading up to his whole thing, and it's like, oh.
What playoff team is going to want to risk that?
Yeah, not a lot of playoff teams are going to want to. No. But at the same time, you can think about it as, what if it's a no-risk situation? Like, I get it, like, there might be problems in the locker room. A lot of teams probably think about, like, he's going to bring in all these issues to the locker room, kind of tear it apart like he has done in the past. I'm not saying he's doing that now or anything. There's probably this whole situation is probably completely different than what we all think about.
I'm just talking the noise behind it if they brought him there.
Yeah, the noise.
No playoff team is going to want that distraction going into the playoffs right now. Mm-hmm. But maybe a non-playoff team.
Yeah.
Maybe look at him.
And then you'd think about, he only had signed a 1-year contract, I believe, or maybe it was because he extended for a 1-year deal this offseason to come back to Tampa to try to win another ring. Didn't get there. Okay, he only made it to week 17, and at the end of the first quarter, barely started the second quarter, whatever it was. But I think there might be those playoff teams, even though it's not going to happen. I don't think that if they have their wide receivers set in place, they have all the guys they need. and they bring in Antonio Brown just for some extra firepower, maybe, because maybe that ankle isn't as bad as, like, it's probably really, really bad and it's really, really painful. And he said they were shooting him up with shots that are pretty dangerous and stuff like that. It takes the pain away. But we've seen, cortisone shots and lidocaine shots, whatever it is, to numb up the pain and stuff, and he can go out there. But, like, for instance, let's see, I would say Green Bay, but who's a good team with a good wide receiver duo going into the playoffs? If we look at, for instance, like the Bengals or the Rams, you can look at, okay, so they got Cooper Kupp, Odell Beckham Jr., and Van Jefferson. Yeah. You bring in Antonio Brown, the noise and the disruption, that could affect it. But if he goes out and plays and that ankle ends up, screwing it up, or like it ends up getting worse or something like that, he's out. He's done. He's not going to play the rest of the year, basically. So it really doesn't affect your gameplay. It's just besides the nose. It shouldn't, or besides the noise, but it shouldn't. But I feel like it could happen. It's not going to happen, obviously. I feel like the teams that are going into the playoffs, they have their team. Yeah. They're good enough. They know they're good enough. They're going to roll it out and see what happens on the other end of things. But going off that, what about next year? Do you see Antonio Brown potentially getting onto another NFL team, or do you see his career kind of going somewhere else and not in the football world?
Yeah, I don't know. I could kind of see both happening, to be honest. I'm leaning towards could be done after this, depending on what the outcome is, because you touched on this. There's three sides to every story. Your side, my side, the truth. I'm kind of leaning towards the Bucks right now, but, once all that comes out, it's possible that Antonio Brown was in the right in this situation, and we can't judge this situation by situations in the past.
Exactly. No.
So, yeah, I guess we'll just wait and see what the word is. I'm sure that there's recordings. I'm sure that there's footage. I'm sure some of the things that Antonio Brown said were true, and some of the things that Bruce said were true. And, yeah, judging off that could be the dictating factor on if he's on a team next year or not.
And I think that's basically why I said when I was talking about there's three sides to every story, is like at this point you almost have to believe the Bucks side of the story because of his past antics, but yet like you said, you can't judge his past antics because of this one and this situation, but you have to kind of go with the Bucks on this one until the truth comes out, because how do I want to put this? Because you can't really take his word for it based off his past situations. So you kind of have to lean towards the Bucks on this situation, but you also have to keep Antonio Brown's side of the story in mind, kind of be like, okay, does this fit the piece of the puzzle? And is this the same thing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are saying? How different is it? What is actually going to be the truth? And you're right, like NFL Films probably, I think Pat McAfee touched on this, where he said that they should come out with some videos and some footage or some audio footage or whatever it is, and they're going to get to the bottom of it. It's plain and simple. They're going to get to the bottom of it. We'll figure it out later. But next year, he's one hell of a football player. And I think that's really going to be a big factor in if he gets signed to a team next year. But at the same time, do you want that noise? Because 2 years ago, or last season, he was fine. Everything was hunky-dory. He was good to go. He did I think he served that suspension, got on the football field, and then they won a Super Bowl. So, it's definitely I don't know. It's a weird situation. It's just something that you'd never see, really, ever. And when you do see it, it's kind of like, whoa, what the fuck? Like, what just happened here? Because it just doesn't happen. But that's kind of the gist on the whole Antonio Brown situation up to this point. There's really nothing new other than he's a free agent. Okay, any team can go out there and pick him up if they really want to. I'm assuming if they do, it's going to be next year, because obviously you got to do a lot of reevaluating. You got the new salary cap coming up and stuff like that, and the whole draft class and other wide receivers coming in, and so we'll see where he goes from here. But we touched on this also yesterday. Aaron Rodgers for MVP is definitely a real thing in the NFL. I think he's definitely this year's MVP by a long shot. And Hub Arcust or whatever the hell his last name is, I don't know, the dude's a scumbag anyways, He's a Chicago writer, a Chicago sports fan, Chicago Bears fan, Chicago Cubs fan. You get it, Chicago, okay? Says, you can't be a jerk and act the way off the field like you did, so I'm not going to vote for Aaron Rodgers, basically, is what he said, for MVP. So he's basing literally all of what antics the I own you as in a jerk way, and his jumping off of fucking waterfalls in Hawaii, not reporting to training camp, maybe having a little issue with the GM and stuff. He's basing all that around the MVP voting. Most valuable player is what that is. What the MVP is, most valuable player. You take Aaron Rodgers off the Green Bay Packers. We've seen it this season.
Yeah.
Jordan Love had a start against Kansas City Chiefs. I believe it was what week was it? I couldn't remember. It was around hunting time. It might have been week 7, week 8 or something like that. Something crazy. They played the Kansas City Chiefs. They could not sustain a drive to save their life, basically. They end up losing that game 13-7. We've seen what happens when Aaron Rodgers gets plucked out of Green Bay. They really don't know what to do. And granted, that could be because they don't have a game plan revolving around Jordan Love. But at the same time, the most valuable player is the guy who means the most to an organization, to a fan base, and to the NFL, basically. And that whole spiel that he gave, I even went out and I said, you're an idiot. Why? Have you not seen his play?
Yeah.
What is your take on this whole situation?
It just shows, it kind of takes away from some of these awards. A lot of the voters are people that you want to hear their opinions from, and another argument on this is, do you got to be a player to vote on it? Do you think that should be a requirement? Because then you look at Bill Belichick, he was never a player. Vince Lombardi was never a player, So some of these guys that were never players, they do got a say on this stuff. They
never played the sport, basically. Yeah. They're just, writers.
But at the same time, you look at those coaches that never played the sport, and they got a big impact in the game. So he could be really good at analyzing things, but what he said was totally based off a biased opinion.
100%.
That's not an argument not to win the MVP.
No, exactly.
Walter Payton, Player of the Year, sure.
Yeah.
But not MVP.
Not MVP.
That's
no.
not him using analysts. It's him using his emotions and opinion.
It's basically like he already had this thought week 1. Before the season even started, he basically knew, okay, if Aaron Rodgers goes off, there's no way in hell I'm voting for him because of what he's done and how he's treated his organization and stuff. Well, by the way, he's treated his organization pretty fucking well. 13-3, 3 consecutive years, back-to-back NFC Championship appearances. He already has a Super Bowl with that organization, about to get another one, in my opinion. It could very well happen. I think they're one of the teams to beat. It definitely highlighted some flaws within the NFL. And I think the NFL will definitely, being the NFL, they probably won't give a shit, obviously. But they definitely need to look into this more. Like you said, players. Do the players vote on this? I think it has to be a mixture. Like the NFLPA, I don't know how many people that's made up out of. I should have probably checked on that. But you got to take, I think, so this is on the Pat McAfee show. Boston Connor brought this up. And nobody really kind of highlighted what he said. And I thought this was actually a really good idea. You take the number 1 or the top captain, or you take a team captain from every team. And then you have the coaches as well. So you have 64 people voting on this? Because they get to see firsthand who's the MVP and how these players are going out there, how well they perform every given Sunday, Monday, Thursday, and now Saturdays, obviously. And I think that would be a good way, because you also see those old NFL films, shots like, for instance, Bill Belichick. I think I forgot to shut that off. I did forget to shut that off. But Bill Belichick was talking to Chad Johnson at one point, and he said, you don't have to play today if you don't want to. Oh, you're gonna? All right, well, just let you know we're double teaming you. So that just shows the amount of respect he has for Chad Johnson's, because he knows how well he was performing. He knows how good of a player he is, and I think those guys get the first glimpse of, damn, like he's hard to stop. They get to see all this film every single day, 24/7, how to stop one specific guy. And I don't know what you do, but I mean, they definitely got to fix it because it is a problem. And you can't come out publicly and say that because now your vote is pretty much going to be discredited.
And now the award is almost probably looked at different because how many other people could have won that award, but because they did something these guys didn't like,
right?
They didn't get the vote.
Exactly. It should just be purely performed off. They got the car. So
They did?
Yep. So there's an Amber Alert we got. We were like, what the fuck is going on? And
it's a white 2008 Buick Enclave.
Yep. Somewhere around Minneapolis, Minnesota. So if you're out there,
keep an eye out.
Keep an eye out. All right. But yeah, it does kind of with all these awards, like who. I mean, you can go find who is in charge of the voting and stuff like that, but we got to figure out something that makes it a lot more accurate because the Hall of Fame, for instance, there was a story where Mike Lombardi said that one of John Madden's buddy asked, why the hell did it take you 26 years to get into the Hall of Fame? And John Madden basically said, I pissed a lot of people off. Okay, like I ruined a lot of relationships and stuff like that. But they forget that John Madden is the winningest head coach in NFL history with over 100 wins or 100 plus wins or whatever. He led them to one Super Bowl, won that Super Bowl, and just a legendary career. The broadcasting, the game Madden, is why did it take this man 26 years? And it's because he ruined relationships of which never, ever, ever touched the fucking field themselves.
No.
All they could do was sit back, watch, and give their own opinion on it. It's, I don't like it. It is it's ridiculous, but what are you going to do? I mean, the NFL will figure it out, maybe. Probably not. I think if they have to, it's going to be a whole new panel. But I think if we see a change, it won't be until next year, to be honest with you. I think it's almost too late in the season where these guys have, I mean, their job is you got to vote for the MVP, watch these guys the year in and year out or whatever, and figure it out that way. But we'll kind of skip away from that, and let's dive into the Arizona Cardinals. So the Arizona Cardinals obviously have clinched a playoff spot in the NFL, obviously. So they have clinched the playoff spot, but there's some good news. Star defensive end J.J. Watt has been activated from injured reserve. Some big news. This is only the second time it's actually happened in his career. It happened once when he was with the Texans. I believe that was a game where I think it was a bloody nose, and that one. I can just picture that in my head.
Too.
So I hope you guys can picture that one in your head as well. But he is activated from IR, and I think this is some pretty big help for Arizona.
Yeah. And it's a good, what do you want to call it? Good boost for the team.
Good motivator.
Yep.
Good yeah. Because we seen what they were like when he was there the first couple weeks. They were tough.
And now they're going into the playoffs. J.J. Watt's not getting any younger. It's their opportunity. This team's going to want to be like, oh, yeah, let's get one for it.
They're gonna play as hard as they can to try to get him that ring. Yeah, because who knows how much longer J.J. Watt actually has left? Because it sucks, but I mean he's just been so injury prone his entire career, and you can't do nothing about it. It's just your body gives out at a certain point, and his giving out a little sooner than expected. But what are you gonna do? The man is still
a beast.
A beast. Walter Payton Man of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, I believe. Twice, I want to say. I think because he gave T.J. Watt shit about that a couple of years ago.
Oh.
I think so. So he's had over 20 sacks in one season before. So the man has a resume, and I'm glad Arizona got him back because I think that's going to make the playoffs that much sweeter and just that much more exciting. And yeah, the atmosphere is going to be awesome around that. It sucks they don't have DeAndre Hopkins, but what are you going to do? I mean, I think Arizona is still a decent team without him. I think they would obviously be a lot better with him. I mean, that's apparent, obviously. But This is a huge addition back to the team. So congratulations to J.J. Watt for returning from IR. Some other people who have designated to return from IR today belong on the Green Bay Packers. David Bakhtiari, Jareer Alexander have been activated from IR. Both have been practicing. How do you feel about that one?
Great. I'm
Pumped.
About time.
Uh-huh.
Blood's boiling.
To think they haven't played with them the whole season, basically.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous what they've been able to do, how good that offensive line is, how good Rasul Douglas has been. I mean, he stepped up tremendously. So, I mean, Jareer Alexander, that addition there with Eric Stokes, Rasul Douglas, Adrian Amos. I mean, it's going to be real tough to pass the ball.
Last time we had a defense like this was 2010, man.
Was that the year? Is that the year you might have went to the Super Bowl? I believe.
Yeah.
Oh, did you play Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you beat the shit out of them. Well, you didn't beat them that bad, I don't think.
Yeah, at first we were kind of kicking the shit out of them, but then it got a little bit closer in the second half, but still a good win.
I mean, it's a Super Bowl. It's definitely going to win at that point. I mean, that is awesome. So that's some big news.
AJ, Clay Matthews.
Oh, yeah. Who else was it? Charles Woodson? Was Woodson on that team?
Mm-hmm. Charles Woodson. God. I want to say like Nick Collins or something like that. No, he was way back in the day.
There was a lot of good.
Yeah, last time we had defense this good was that.
Yeah, they were ready and they were poised, and the fact now, I think they almost purposely waited this long for some odd reason. There's just something. I mean, maybe they were hurt, obviously, like more than we think, but just as good as their season was going, like there's no reason for them to come back because they were obviously going to make the playoffs, they were obviously going to win the division and whatever. So it's like, let's hold these guys until the playoffs. But that leads me to the other thing.
Zadarius Smith too. Is he coming back?
I have no idea, to be honest with you. He hasn't been activated. That one I feel like seems more unlikely, but it definitely is. It's very possible. Maybe after this week, before the playoffs, we see him get activated. But really don't know at this point. But it's still, that's
Yeah, maybe they want Jareer and God dang it.
Bakhtiari.
Yeah, maybe they want them to get a game in before playoffs.
See, that's what I'm thinking because I know Jareer has been practicing. So I wonder if he's going to play this game because it also gives him the chance to see how to use him because of, obviously, like, what are you going to do with Rasul Douglas? What are you going to do with Eric Stokes and your safeties? Like, do you move Rasul Douglas back to safety with Adrian Amos, have Jareer and Eric Stokes on the outsides and cover the receiver? Or
We got Darnell Savage, man.
And you got Darnell Savage, too. That's the thing. Is like there's so many possibilities. Like, do you run a two linebacker with a nickel corner at all times? Like 3 corners, 2 safeties, 2 linebackers in the line. Like a 4-2 almost, I think it would be. Because that'd be 4.
The floor will figure it out.
Oh, yeah. The dude's a genius. He's definitely... And that's probably why he's not up for Coach of the Year because... I mean, this is the floor.
About those goddamn rewards.
Exactly, right? Who cares about those rewards?
Only reward that I put a lot of worth on is the top 100 because that's voted on by the players.
By the players, yep. Because they get to see it.
Yeah.
And all of them vote, and they all vote differently. Like every 100 players that they vote in there are all different. It's all compiled, and whoever had the most votes at those positions, that's who's there.
Yeah.
Basically, so that is how almost the voting should kind of go. I mean, because these guys get to see it firsthand. How good is this? How good is Aaron Donald? Like, like definitely the top 10 for sure. Like, I mean, or top 10 for sure, probably. Maybe top 20. I think he was this year in the top 10. I think he was top.
Yeah.
I think so. I can't remember off the top of my head. But also for the Green Bay Packers, I know this probably isn't a shocker. Aaron Rodgers starting this week against the Detroit Lions.
Is he?
Yep. How do you feel about that?
I guess. I mean, you know what? It doesn't surprise me. And I'm going to be okay with it if he plays like a quarter or even the first half and then gets out.
And I can see that. I mean, it's the Lions.
He can set a record this year with If he doesn't throw an interception within the next, I want to say it's like 16 passes or something like that, he'll be the only quarterback to throw for over 500 attempts and less than 5 picks.
Really?
Yeah, because he has 4 picks right now.
You really? I thought he has 5.
Yeah, 4.
Damn. Yeah, that's incredible. But I mean, also Aaron Rodgers, they've done this in the past where they have started him in the last game because I think Aaron even mentioned it on Aaron Rodgers Tuesday on the Pat McAfee show where he's like, I mean, it's just another game. Like, we need these reps to the play. First half was probably good. We could probably see him in the second half if, obviously the game's a little lopsided, but at the same time, it don't fucking matter. Okay? It is literally like, I mean, you win or lose, it don't matter because they still have number 1 seed in the NFC playoffs, still won their division, still got home field advantage. So it's like, we're good here, and they've known Aaron Rodgers has been known to start in the last game every single year because I think
He never broke toe.
I know. Oh, another thing about that, Aaron Rodgers did come out and say this is the best his toe has felt in a while. After this last week.
He really didn't get touched that much.
Well, yeah.
And he got to ice it the whole game.
Yeah, I mean, with how cold it was, he definitely got to ice it the whole game, but golly. Yeah, that was a shit show. Our defense was nowhere to be found. I think Devonta Adams said it best. It was like, when you start seeing them get up slower than you know you've won the game. And they won the game from the first play. Right when it started, I knew, over and done with. Chris Boyd, single cover, man-to-man, on Devonta Adams. Gets like a 20, 30-yard reception or something like that. And then Zimmer's like, fuck it. Cameron Bynum, go out there and kind of shadow. Make sure we kind of slow this guy down a little bit. That didn't work either because you can't stop those two. It's just...
You could almost see the body language of the Vikings before the game started.
Oh, yeah.
The coldness, I think, just like hit them hard, and they're ready.
Yeah. They're like, alrighty, we're done. This is...
It did seem like that. They just seemed, here we go.
We got fucking Sean Mannion over here trying to
play football today.
God.
Could be inside.
It definitely looked like they were just drained. Like, all right, time to get back in. Let's just make this a quick one. All right, let's hurry it up. Let's get it going. Brutal game, fun game, exciting, an incredible experience. So that was fun, very, very fun. Another thing to bring up quick before we kind of dive into a little bit of fantasy football talk. Brief, it'll be very, very brief. Russell Wilson, the whole situation with him this offseason, wanting to leave. There's something not right within the organization. What's going to really happen? Well, he came out today on a presser. I believe it was today, and he said, my goal is to win more Super Bowls. My goal is to do them here in Seattle.
Wow.
Yeah, right?
Interesting.
What does that mean? Like,
He's there for the long haul.
well, I guess
Is that the new thing?
It might be.
Staying with your team? Because I could see Rodgers winning this Super Bowl this year and being like, deuces.
You know what would be awesome, too, about that? Is if that's the case, I will have seen Rodgers and Big Ben in their last season. In person.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Pretty incredible. Yeah.
And if that does happen, we went to Rodgers' last regular season home game.
Yeah. At Lambeau.
And the same year that he won the Super Bowl.
Won the Super Bowl.
If that
Yeah,
happens.
if it happens, it's
That
going to
would
be...
be pretty good, darn legendary.
Right? But that makes you wonder, like, if Russell's not going to be the one that's going to... Like, if Seattle needs a change and Russell's not on his way out, does that mean Pete Carroll might be on his way out, retiring? The dude's 70-some years old. That's...
I don't know. That'd be a tough one to see, but I mean, yeah, maybe.
With
maybe
how many
it is time.
With how many coaching candidates the Jacksonville Jaguars have fucking been trying to, interview?
Doug Peterson, man.
I know, Doug Peterson definitely.
That's my favorite coach to see where
He would
goes.
fit that whole. He would fit that whole organization. It feels like just the aura around him, like the way the way he looks.
think the Eagles gave up on. I mean, Sirianni's doing all right, I guess.
Mm-hmm. And Sirianni, I mean, beginning of the season, oof.
We were like, uh-oh.
Yeah, it was not
But
good.
he proved us wrong.
And I do believe at the beginning of the season there was a couple people that said, "Watch out for the Eagles. They could make some noise. They have very, very good potential to do so." The only question was their defense. How well can their defense perform? How healthy can they stay? We know their offense has Devontae David, Jalen Reagor, Jalen Hurts. I mean, Dallas Goedert. They're good. Their offensive line's good. They're good on offense.
Yeah.
Defensively, what's going to be the issue? And
Be a little shaky.
I mean, they've clinched a playoff spot. So
Yeah, and I think that they might get exposed coming into this week's game.
you think so?
I think so.
How bad?
Probably by 2 touchdowns. I'm taking the Cowboys.
Yeah. It's gonna be Cowboys are a team on the roll right now, and if Zeke has been holding back strictly for the playoffs, hey, I'm all for it at that point. But he has definitely got to pick it up a little bit. I mean, this guy has got to figure it out. But yeah, that was some big news. Oh, also one piece of more news. Actually, I forgot about this. The Panthers are considering taking calls for potential trades on Christian McCaffrey. I seen that today, and my mind was kind of like, whoa.
Why wouldn't you?
Exactly.
Why wouldn't you trade him?
You'd have to. You have to. I mean, he's injury prone. Even though he's a great running back, he's injury
he's
prone.
great, but I drafted him on my fantasy football team 2 years in a row.
And he's hurt both times.
Every time he's in there, he does great. That's what you're getting as a team. Are you going to trade 4 great games with the running back for... That's all you're getting out of him.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, and I think what might happen is trade him to Seattle, get Russell, or trade him to Green Bay, but that won't happen because he's wearing too much. That won't happen. Never mind. Cross that off the list. Yeah,
You got AJ and Aaron Jones back.
Yeah.
Thunder and lightning.
Where would he go? There's not many opportunities. There's not many Raiders. Texans, Davis Mills. Well, they ain't. If Carolina's going to get a quarterback, they're going to get one that's either a
Deshaun
veteran.
Watson.
Yeah. Oh, never mind. Yeah, that would be a good fit. That would be a very good fit, I feel like. Let's just hope those civil cases go the right way for him. Because, wow. They can make some noise down there because they still are safe with David Johnson. And who's the Duke Johnson? No, he's not on their team anymore. It was Philip Lindsay, but he's a Dolphin now. Whatever, you get it. All right, you get it. So he is up for trade. They are considering calls for him. So go make a call if you want to trade for Christian McCaffrey. Go make that call. Okay, might not help in the long run, but it might help a couple games, give or take. So he's a good 1-2 punch type of guy. So if you got a good first guy, you could use Christian as a backup because. I don't know, because, man, he got a big extension. And I don't think Carolina realized what they got themselves into. So, but anyways, on other fronts, the fantasy football. This is pretty much going to be the last fantasy football Friday, but we'll still continue to do the Fridays. We'll just have to come up with a new name or something. Just Friday. I mean, simple as that. Friday talk, Friday football talk. All right, we could do that. Friday football talk. FFT.
Fantasy football team.
Oh, yeah. Friday football. Jeez Louise. Well, it sucks because the fantasy football team, unfortunately, couldn't get it done.
Bullshit.
Yeah, and neither could Full Chubb.
It's bullshit.
Both guys that come on the show on the daily, on the reg, every Friday for fantasy football talk. We've been talking about this the whole time. They failed to make the Get Your Fix Fantasy Football Championship game.
It's bullshit.
It sucks. It is brutal. So I will be the fixers. My team will be taking on AB's team. You're in trouble for the 5th place and 6th place game. The fantasy football team, or John's team, the fantasy football team, and Logan's team, Full Chubb, will be taking. Will be going for 3rd and 4th place. And congratulations to John Cole and Austin Hill for making the Get Your Fix Fantasy Football League championship game. Hope you guys have one hell of a battle. I hope it's close. And, we'll go from there, really. Good luck to all of you. Money's on the line. Some free merch is on the line. But yeah, that's our fantasy football talk for now. Thought about bringing up the lineups, but at this point, it don't even fucking matter, okay, for any of us besides those two guys that are in the championship. So, you get it. All right, but I think it's time to make our Week 18 game picks. So, doing so, there are 2 games on Saturday, the rest of the games on Sunday. So that means there's what? Let's see. There's 32 teams. So there's 14 games on Sunday, 2 on Saturday. We'll get it started right off the bat, okay, with the Saturday games.
We made one of those.
Huh?
So we made one of those.
Yeah, you did. I might have to go there too. So starting off the bat with the Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Denver Broncos. I got the Chiefs.
Same.
Yeah.
Pretty easy.
Yeah, that was a pretty easy one. The next one, I think we both kind of came to a consensus there. Dallas is definitely probably going to win. I do think that Philly might put up a fight just because they have a playoff spot, but at the same time, they might want to rest their players, and they're going to look a little sloppy compared to Dallas, but Dallas is also solidified a spot as well.
Dallas is looking to gain momentum right now.
Yeah, they are. They need it.
Cement that consistency.
That's for sure. So we each got Kansas City and Dallas. So moving on to Sunday's games here. We have first game, the Cincinnati Bengals going to take on the Cleveland Browns. Who's your pick?
I got the Bengals. I think the Browns are heartbroken after not getting into the playoffs. I think that sucked the life out of them. Bengals ready to win this division, ready to, same as the Cowboys, keep that consistency going into the playoffs.
Oh, see what you just said there kind of made me flip my thought a little bit because I think
Browns gonna spoil that.
Yeah, and also because Joe Burrow's not playing Jamar Chase, they're gonna be sitting a lot of their stars. But
oh, they are sitting.
Mm-hmm.
Who has first? Titans do.
Mm-hmm.
Locked in.
Yeah. No, not locked in. Still 4 teams. New England can get the first seed. Chiefs get the first seed. Bengals could get the first seed, and the Titans.
Bengals can get the first seed. Then why wouldn't they be playing Joe Burrow on them?
Because they clinched the playoff spot. They're resting them just to make sure. And if that's the case, I think it's really hard because here's why. If Tennessee wins, they get it regardless.
Okay.
All they have to do is win. So I think that's basically why. But, you know what? I'm going to go Bengals too. On this one, I think they just want to keep that momentum going. And like you said, Browns got the life sucked out of them. Next game, we got the Green Bay Packers going to take on the Detroit Lions. John, who's your pick?
You know what? I'm picking the Lions here.
Oof.
I think that Rodgers won't play the whole game. I think a lot of our guys won't play the whole game. I think we're ready for the freaking playoffs already. This game has no bear over what's going on with the standings.
Yep.
They got a locked in number 1 seed. They got home field advantage. These guys are going in there lightly, and I think this is a good game for the Lions to win. Last game of the season. Send Motor City Dan Campbell off with one against a big team.
At home even.
Yep, at home. Yeah, I could see the Lions getting one more here, and
Get a worse draft pick.
Yep. Unless you win the Super Bowl.
Yep. I'm going to go Green Bay here. They're starting Aaron Rodgers. If Jareer plays, if David plays, I doubt David will actually.
14-3.
I have a good feeling. This team, with even though it's going to be tough, if Aaron Rodgers is playing, he's going to give him one hell of a chance to win this ball game, even if he doesn't play the whole game. I really just, him and Devontae,
I could see it be 2 drives.
Yeah. 2 drives? Yeah. See if they get 2 touchdowns.
If they get 2 touchdowns, he's
all right. See you later.
Then Jordan Love comes in there and does his thing.
Yeah,
Could still get
win
the
or
win.
lose. Don't matter.
Exactly.
So next game, we got the Chicago Bears taking on the Minnesota Vikings. I'm going Minnesota because we finally got fucking Kirk Cousins back. Yeah, we got the life sucked out of us last week, but it's Chicago. I'm gonna still roll with my Vikes. I have to.
This one I'm going with the Vikes as well. I think last week was tough, cold, rough, hurt.
Yeah.
So they're coming in. They're back home. Another division rival. This is their time for redemption. They
In the warm.
whoop the shit out of the freaking Bears.
Yep. Oh yeah. Next game, Washington football team, soon to be changed. Obviously, February 2nd, 2022.
To the Admirals.
Yeah. Boomer was kind of wrong in a couple other things too before that, but yeah, I hope it's either that or the
I
Commanders.
think that they leaked on accident.
Oh.
I mean, that's why you knew that. Saw it on Twitter.
Yeah, probably.
Because they accidentally...
The stars on the jersey. I noticed that too. But anyways, Washington football team taking on the New York Giants. Give me Washington. The Giants they stink. They are. Mike Lombardi said it best. They need a complete, how do you want to say it? Overhaul, basically. Like, they need to fix a lot of shit over there. Give me Washington.
Yeah, I'm taking Washington as well.
Heck yeah. Next game, the Indianapolis Colts taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Colts.
Yeah, I got the Colts as well. I do.
I think Jonathan Taylor's going to try going for that MVP and run all over him.
Yeah. I mean, hey, fucking what's his name? Pornhub Arkush is probably gonna vote for him. But hey, if he votes for him, there's nothing wrong against that because Jonathan Taylor does deserve a couple votes. I mean,
Definitely.
he's insane. So yeah, Colts on that one.
If I didn't like Rodgers, I'd vote for Jonathan Taylor too.
Yep,
So.
exactly. Next pick, we got the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Baltimore Ravens. What do you got? Yeah, this is a risky one. I'm gonna give me the Ravens because they are still eligible to make the playoffs, and I think they're gonna be fighting for it. Even though Lamar Jackson hasn't been playing that much, they are rolling with Huntley, and I still have a lot of faith in Huntley. And I think it really did feel like it was Pittsburgh's last game, even though it was only Beden's last game at Heinz Field last week. It really felt like that was it.
They can't make the playoffs.
Wait. Yeah, the Steelers can make the playoffs too. Fuck.
Give me the freaking Steelers.
Yeah.
You know why?
I'll take the Steelers on that one too.
If they get in there with Ben.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Steelers on that as well. I can't go with the half.
Can you imagine Rodgers and Ben Super Bowl?
And Ben getting the last laugh.
Hey.
That
That would be interesting. And then they both retire.
would be bonkers.
That would be rigged.
Yeah, it would. It would definitely. That would be woo.
They both ride off into the sunset.
Yep.
Oh, the legendary photos with it.
Oh yeah. I don't think Rodgers would. How could you retire? He's so close to that fucking
It's a
Lombardi.
storybook.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's gonna be a good one. They're probably gonna be tuning in. Well, I'm gonna be tuning into. I'll be tuning into the Vikes game, but maybe that one too. Next game, Titans at Texans. We got the Titans, I'd assume. Or who do you got on this one?
I got the Titans as well.
Yep. And if they win, they clinch the first seed in the AFC, home field advantage all throughout. And kudos to them because they've started over 80-plus players on offense this year.
Wow.
So, yeah,
Impressive.
that is ridiculous. Next game, the New Orleans Saints taking on the Atlanta Falcons.
I got the Falcons.
I got the Saints just because
They can still make it.
they can still make the playoffs.
That's why I'm taking the Falcons. Because they can still make it.
No, the Falcons can't. Oh,
I
because
know.
the Saints?
It's a division rival.
Yeah.
I can see them ruining.
Yeah, I have to take the Saints. The Saints are going to make it. There's something about them. And I think they're going to make it over San Fran here, and we can make that pick here quick. San Fran at Rams. I got Rams.
Yeah, I'm going to have to take Rams with this one, too.
Because I think if they win, they solidify their division title.
But if San Fran...
San Fran in the playoffs.
Stafford's been playing a little sloppy.
Yeah, he has. He really has.
Jimmy Garoppolo wants that respect.
Well, he has got to earn it, I guess. But, yeah.
He hasn't been playing bad.
Yeah, I suppose he
He's
has
been winning games.
Because of Debo, I feel like. Debo Samuel's an
It's a
absolute
team game.
monster. Yeah, I suppose. It is definitely a team game. It's definitely a team game. Everybody has to be on the same page.
You think they'd be this good with Trey Lance starting?
Nah.
No,
No, I don't think they'd be nearly as good. They'd be close, but
Yeah, check the stats.
yeah, I'm gonna take Los Angeles on that pick. I just have to go with that one.
I am too. But it will be nice if Jimmy can get in there.
Oh yeah, definitely. Next pick we got the New York Jets and the Buffalo Bills. What was the stats there?
19 TDs, 10 picks.
Oh,
Rookie
average kind of.
Mm.
So Jets, Bills. Who do you got?
I got the Bills.
Yeah, I got the Bills
The Bills
also.
are going to kick the shit out of them.
Oh yeah, I definitely. Yeah, it's not going to be a fun game. It's not going to be a pretty one. Next games. Let's slide that. We got New England Patriots taking on the Miami Dolphins.
Ooh.
It's going to be a good one. Miami always takes one.
Ooh.
I think they took the one earlier, though, this year. But give me Mac fucking Jones. Miami's done. They're out of the playoffs. I want Mac Jones because seeing him in the playoffs is going to be awesome. It's going to be incredible.
Yeah, they coming off a 50-10, was it?
Yep.
Yeah, give me the Pats.
Heck yeah. Next game, Seattle Seahawks taking on the Arizona Cardinals.
I got the Cardinals. J.J. Watt's back. Yeah, give me the Cardinals.
Yeah, I got the Cardinals too. I don't know if he's gonna be playing this week. No, he's not gonna be playing this week. They said he's gonna be ready for week 1 of the playoffs.
All right, give me the Seahawks then.
Yeah.
I like what happened last.
Oh yeah.
Last week.
Oh yeah.
What
Against the Lions, 51-20.
Yeah.
Just a slaughter fest over there. That was bad. What else? Yeah. Give me. Golly. I'm still gonna go with Arizona. Next game, the Carolina Panthers going to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. With the drama that's happened, I don't think it's gonna mean much. I think they're gonna still be fine. Carolina's dealing with the quarterback issue. Give me Tampa.
Tampa's gonna win the last game of the season.
At home.
Yep.
Going into the playoffs. They need that momentum. Tom fucking Brady.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. And the final game of Week 18 happens to land on Sunday Night Football.
This is gonna be a banger of a game.
It's going to be a real good one because there's a certain scenario that if they tie, I don't know, it's either they both make the playoffs and they both play. No, I think it's one of them's going to make the playoffs, I think.
If they tie?
I think. Yeah, I think there's some scenario where, or no, it maybe helps a different team if they tie or something like that. But I think it's if they tie, they either have to play each other or it goes a point differential throughout the season or something weird. I remember this happened a couple of years ago. It was a really weird situation. I can't remember what it was exactly off the top of my head, but I know it happened 2-3 years ago where a team ended up with the same record as another team. And they kind of had to figure it out differently. But yeah, it's a weird situation. But anyways, we got the Los Angeles Chargers, which should probably still be the San Diego Chargers. No, I'm just kidding. Los Angeles Chargers pretty good. Taking on the Las Vegas Raiders. The Raiders.
I like the Raiders in this one.
You do?
I like how they've been looking. Yeah, give me the Raiders.
Yeah, give me the Raiders, especially because they can make the playoffs. And if Rich Bisaccia, woo, that would be awesome. If he interim head coach leads him to a playoffs, that'd be awesome. Give me the Raiders.
Does he
on
get a
this one.
job as that
Man, I
head
hope,
coach?
but it doesn't sound like, because from what Ian Rappaport's been like saying with on Pat's show and stuff like that, is it seems kind of unlikely at this point. But I mean, if he leads him to a playoff victory or a playoff run, sort of like wins a game, wins the wild first round, you kind of got to look at him as this guy's been able to take everything aside, forget about it, rally this team around. Because at the beginning of the season, True Identity Tuesday, I mean, I said this is a team that has completely fallen apart. There's no way they're going to really win any more games. It's going to be tough for them to do so because of all this noise. And here comes the special teams coordinator as the interim head coach, Richie Bisaccia, and turn this team around.
Yep.
He's been winning games, so I hope they get it done because that'd be awesome to see. It'd be especially for him and just what they have all went through as an organization and fan base. So, yeah, we both got the Raiders on that one.
Could be the Raiders Cowboys Super Bowl.
Ooh,
That would be
Cowboys
classic.
aren't going. Cowboys, they're the entertainment team for a reason.
Hey, that'd be a classic Super Bowl.
It would be a very classic Super Bowl.
Rivals in the Super Bowls.
Just, I wonder how bad. I wonder if it'd be a shit show or not. Like, would Dallas just stomp them? I have a feeling they might just stomp 'em. Like, they might just
very well
stomp
could.
on them. So, yeah, those are our Week 18 game picks. The regular season is almost over and done with. It will be after this week. I'm excited for it. The playoffs are right around the corner. Man, the season has completely flown by. Seems like in a blink of an eye, it's just here and over.
Everything
with.
is.
It
Years,
is.
days. Well, days go by really slow, honestly.
Yeah.
But weeks.
Weeks. You're like, whoa, weeks already done? Okay.
Oh, it's 2022.
Yeah, damn. We were just in 2021.
We were just graduating high school in 2016.
I know. Seems like yesterday. Oh, no, not really.
6 years ago.
We're old bucks now, okay? We used to stomp those hallways back in the day.
Oh, my back's hurt.
Yeah. Fucking, you know, we get old, you make those noises, we're like, okay. You start getting up. Yep. We're getting to that spot in our life. I should probably do some more pliability and some, yoga or something. Do the whole, crack the old neck there. Hopefully it doesn't get stuck, because that would suck. But thank you guys so much for joining us here on this beautiful Fantasy Football Friday, soon to be Fantasy Football, or not Fantasy Football, soon to be Football Talk, Football Friday Talk, or Friday Football Talk. I don't know how that was worded there, but that was interesting to say the least. But thank you guys so much for joining us, whether that be on Facebook or YouTube. Hit that subscribe button for me if you're on YouTube. And you just got your fix with the Wicks.